Hey, this week I want to talk about trusting yourself. Hi, I'm Eloise Ansell. I'm an intuitive healer based in the UK. Hello, welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you're not new, welcome back. Uh, you don't know, I make a video every Monday, and quite often I talk about stuff that's going on in clinic. One of my other favourite topics is talking about intuition. So if you're into that vibe, stick around. If you're a therapist, yeah, might wanna stick around. Got some stuff brewing for 2024 that I've been meaning to get around to for the last 10 years. Uh, so today I want to talk about trusting yourself. Now, why is trusting yourself so important? One thing I notice more and more in clinic that people don't trust themselves. Now, this can be in every area of their life. And if that's you, you may feel like you want to stay home all the time and you've got lots of anxiety. That could be one of the ways it's manifesting. It may just be that you don't trust yourself in some aspect or area of your life. So it could be finances, it could be relationship, it could be, work. And you're going to find over time that area of your life just seems to get more and more sticky, more and more painful, and you just want to run away from it and give up. If that's going on for you anywhere, you're not trusting yourself. Now, when we don't trust ourselves, we switch off from that inner guidance system, the intuition. And so we can switch off that intuition across the globe completely. You might be one of those people that's really stuck in your head and overthinks everything because you've lost trust in yourself. And that's another way it can show up. Or we lose trust in ourselves in one aspect of our life. And then that becomes like our major pain point. Now, when we trust the universe and we trust ourselves, life just gets a bit easier. We can follow our intuition, we can follow our guidance, and just go walk through each day as if it's a new day. I always reference that 50 First Dates film. If you haven't watched that in a while, go and watch 50 First Dates because it's such a great way of explaining the universe. There is only now. Quantum physics tells us time and space doesn't exist. There's only this moment. Mind blowing. So every day we wake up as if it's, whoever the name of the character is. It Lucy and Drew Barrymore plays? I haven't watched it for a few months. Very few months. But, she wakes up every day without a memory of the recent past. So she starts every day fresh. And that's kind of how we should show up. And just trust that the day is going to pan out and be fun and all fine and dandy. Now, when we kind of want to live that without all of the head trauma and thinking it's the same date and all that, we'll ignore that bit, but we kind of want to wake up as if it's a fresh day every day without the baggage of the past and just show up and say, hey, what can I create and have fun with today? That's the ideal way of being. But when we lose trust with ourselves and we lose trust with the universe, we can get really sticky and contracted and be in dis-ease with an aspect or every area of our life. And then things just get more and more sticky and more contracted, and we just, it's no fun. Now, do you ever remember when you've fallen in love with someone and everything's amazing? And you just skip through life and things turn up that are great and all that. We kind of want to live like that every day. That to me is an example of like when we really trust the universe and ourselves. Now, most of us are going to be somewhere in the middle of that, as two extremes. And we just want to kind of keep stepping towards being in blissful love every day. Love with ourselves, trusting the universe, in love with everything. Now, shit happens, technical term. Things happen, we have challenge, but what we want to do is be able to process the emotion of the event as it's happening and let go of it straight away, and then take practical steps to move forward and get through whatever it is. And if you trust yourself and your intuition's there to guide you, it will help you see what you need to take, what actions you need to take or not take. Sometimes not taking action is the solution. I often give this example when I worked in the corporate world. Sometimes tasks and jobs would land on my plate, and I'd be like, I don't really want to do that. And I just tune in and go, if I leave this for a few weeks, will it disappear? Quite often it just would. So I just leave it, then it would magically disappear. But I even do it in my business now. I used to, some of you may have heard me tell this story a few times over the last few months. I had this issue with my website, and I reached out to the tech guys that produced the software that I knew was behind the problem. I'm quite geeky, so I knew what was wrong. And they wrote me this essay of things to do. Now, I have 2 degrees in computer science, and I sat there, read that, and went, that's a lot of information. They're all like, that's not going to be a 5-minute task, because I'm like, try this and do this and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not a 5-minute thing. So I emailed them back and went, that was a lot. Thanks. When I get a moment, I will do it. And just, just to let them know that I'd received the information and thank you. Like, it was on my list of things to do every week. And I just kept tuning in and I'm like, does it feel like a priority? And suddenly my website has fixed itself. And I didn't have to go through all that trauma and drama of following all their stuff. Like, things can change without you doing anything. So not taking action is sometimes appropriate action. It's kind of fun. So when we can trust ourselves wholeheartedly, we can tune into things like that and know that, I mean, I've been like, oh, I really should fix my website. It'd been kind of something been going on with it for months. And I was like, oh, I really should take care of that. And I just kept tuning in and it wasn't telling me to take action. And finally, I just emailed them because I wanted to at least have taken some action, if that makes sense, because it felt weird that I hadn't. But when I really tuned into it, it was like, nah, it's not a problem. And in the end, it wasn't a problem. So we'll see. It might magically unravel itself at some point, but who knows? But when we trust ourselves, we can know when we need to do things, and we know when we need to phone a friend, and we need to know when we need to take action and when we don't. And coming from that space of trusting ourselves and being able to follow that internal guidance really can help and support us. But when we fall out of trust with ourselves, as I said, it could be about everything or one area of your life, you cannot get that internal guidance. And so sometimes we need to make it a practice of getting back in touch with the intuition or clearing the blocks in that area of our life that is stopping us from trusting ourselves again in that area. So sometimes just working on one thing works on everything because everything's connected. So, if I'm doing a session on you, I'm always going to ask what the priority is. And even if we're working on your big toe, we could be changing everything because everything's connected to everything. So it's always fun at the end of a session. I was like, right, okay, go off and see what changes. It's kind of fun. So it's just this magical mystery tour of what's going to get shifted. But if there's one area of your life where you're really blocked, it's worth booking a few sessions to get into that area, because you can't see what's blocking you in that area. If you could see it, you'd have fixed it by now. So you can sit and kind of just tune in to that area of your life and go and just ask questions of yourself, like, what would it take to clear that area of my life? That's a great question. What else is possible around that area of my life? If this area of my life was to shift, what would I do to have made that happen? Or you just keep asking questions, what is this block around my love life about? What's going on here that I can't see? Now, you don't expect an answer, you keep asking the question, because you're saying to the universe, hey universe, hey body, I need intuition, I need some help with this area. Could you give me some help? And you're focusing on it shifting. You're not focusing on, oh, that's shit, because technical term. Because if you keep focusing on what's blocked and the block, you're just going to create more block. We need to start asking questions to shift it. We need to get some work done to get through some of the things stuck there. Now, sometimes I get a client in clinic and their body takes me to a certain time or an accident, maybe, or something that happened to them. And they're like, hey, Eloise, I've worked on this for 20 years. I've been clearing this for like 7 years. It's like every therapist I see says that it's clear now. And I'm like, well, we still wouldn't be going to it if there was nothing. There's still something there. So sometimes we can even think that we've worked on an area and it's not changing. There's still something. Now, it could be in a past life, in a different dimension. It could be somewhere else that it's blocked that you're not even noticing because you can't consciously look at that. So you sometimes need an outside observer to come in and go, oh, hang on a minute, this, that, clear it all out, and ding, 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 things start to shift. Now, the shift could take a few weeks, it could take a few months, it might be instant, you never know. So it's always interesting. So if you have a block or you're not trusting yourself in some aspect of your world, you can't expect doing the same thing to create a different result. That's an Einstein-ish quote. Um, can't remember how he actually says it. But you can't keep coming to the same area of your life that's blocked with the same energy, with the same conversation, with the same self talk, with the same sabotages, with the same programming, and expect it to shift. Something has to happen. Something has to interact and start to move things around. So if you're not getting the awareness about what it is and you're really blocked in an area of your life, ask who the best person is to come in and support that. And ask questions yourself. Because if you start asking questions and you say, hey, I'm looking for a solution for this, and this is what I want to create in life, this is how I want things to be, but what do I need to shift, universe, to make this happen? Body, what do I need to shift to make this happen? You're starting to shift the energy because you're not focused on the block anymore. You're trying to open up to more possibilities and something different. So ask lots of questions about it. Do some journaling, go for a little walk. You can think about it. You can sit with friends and say, hey, I don't want you to find me a solution. I just want you to listen while I talk about this and let them talk. If someone comes to you and says this, just let them talk, because sometimes in the verbalization of it, you're giving a different energy to it. You're actually kind of putting that frequency out into the universe in a different way to just thinking it. Like when you state it, I talk to myself a lot at home because I know this. Like sometimes I need to verbalize something to get it out of my system, or I need to verbalize it to get that frequency out into the universe to ask for something different. If I'm just thinking it, you didn't hear that. The universe didn't hear that as much as me stating, hey, universe, I want to create this, please. What would it take? How can I make this happen? It feels lighter when we state it. So sometimes you may need to verbally talk about it. So you can put your dictaphone on and record with your mobile phone, and just wander around your house doing it. You might just want to talk to yourself in the mirror or whatever feels comfortable, or go for a walk and think it through. And maybe if you're on your own somewhere quiet, you can talk it, or put your headphones in and pretend you're talking to someone on the phone, but you're just talking to yourself. That works too. Just leave pauses every now and again so it sounds like you're talking to someone else. They're answering. Whatever floats your boat. So ask questions, play with things, see what sparks to make a shift in that area. And your intuition can come back and aid that that trust and rebuild that trust. And if you want to change your intuition and make intuition your best friend, I have loads of courses. You can start off with Intuition Talks. We're going to be doing another Intuition Talks Mastery Practical at the beginning of 2024 at some point. I'm going to tune in and see when that happens. We had so much fun on the last practical series. I'm excited for the next one. Everybody that came to the last one's like saying, "Oh, I might do this again, even if we do the same thing. I don't care. This was great." So I don't even know how many places we'll have, but it's going to be fun. So, like, I've got loads of things, and you can just tap into my 11 Keys to Intuition. Very cheap course if you want to start to make friends with your intuition again and start to shift that, because once we get that trust back and your intuition is back on your side, you're going to get bigger shifts and breakthroughs in all those areas that you've been stuck. So if you want to check out all my intuition stuff, I will put all the links below, see what pings for you, and I will catch up with you for another video soon. Take care. Bye.